I mean, not the biggest. You can see him just in that huddle. He's surrounded by giants around him. He's got a big bruising back. But he's the point guard. He's a facilitator, a South Florida kid that energized this program when he came in the fourth quarter to beat Florida International last year, and he has not looked back since.
They feel very confident about his positivity in the face of a dangerous defensive line for Oklahoma State. Opening pass is a screen, and that is Lew Nichols, who is absolutely driven down by Mason Cobb, the new starting linebacker. So Central Michigan at the offensive line spot is led by Jamez Kimbrell, a big-time leader for them. Dallas Dixon, one of their returning wide receivers, a rare one after they lost Khalil Pimpleton to the NFL. But Nichols really is the featured guy as he's split out wide. This opening long ball is batted away. He was looking for Jalen McGoy, and it's third down. Oklahoma State's defense, they may play upwards of 14 defensive linemen. Brock Martin is 24 years old. They call him Dad on that defensive line. They will rotate a lot of guys in and out. They've lost a couple of linebackers. Benson and Cobb take over at that spot. And the five-man defensive backfield, along with the honorable mention, all Big 12 player last year, Jason Taylor. Third and 7 for Richardson. Oklahoma State gets to him. He does have a completion, and that is a first down to Carlos Carrier, the transfer from Maryland, a gain of 8 on 3rd and 7.
You see that clock and understanding on third down, especially if you get into nickel or passing situations, you can expect an onslaught of rush, but that's where experience comes in. Richardson doesn't hold the ball. He finds an outlet, a broken tackle, and a big-time first down move, move the chains to set the tempo.
A tempo that Oklahoma State really wants to kick up during this game. They run a lot of plays, the Cowboys do. First run for Nichols, tried to bounce it outside, and he got tripped up. It's a loss on the play. Mason Cobb sliced him down.
Well, he's doing his best. Malcolm Rodriguez right there, isn't he? They lose a 4-year starter at linebacker. Kudos to you, Rodrigo, for making that team in Detroit. But Cobb, well, he learned from his predecessor. He sees it, he explodes, he makes the tackle for loss. Coming downhill is what these Cowboys do at that linebacker position.
Yeah, how about Rodriguez, by the way? Coming on strong for the Lions. Mike Gundy very proud of him. Just talked to him the other day. Second down and 12, and Miles Bailey, the second back, checks in, and he gets drilled by Xavier Benson, another new linebacker.
You know, one of the keys, you hear this a lot from coaches, especially on the road, but Jim McElwain, he's coached a lot of football in his career, and he said first down's key for us. We've got to have success on first down. If they are stagnant, if they go backwards as they did on that first down, well, you're looking at these situations, 3rd and 10, and against this front and this crew and this pass rush, it's just not sustainable.
Jim McElwain, coach of the year in the MAC a couple of years ago. He knows big situations. He's coached in them at Florida and beyond. Another screen. It's a middle screen, and that's going nowhere for Bailey. 4th down coming up. Boy, Mason Cobb has been really active.
He sure has. He beats the block that time of the right guard Ferris. You see 66. He's coming out. Paul Petrino, new offensive coordinator. He knows what he's facing. 2 screens in the first series here to try to slow down that rush. But Mason Cobb is up for the challenge. Reading, diagnosing, and finishing.
If you're a Big 12 offensive coordinator, you're looking and saying, I thought they lost the linebackers. They were supposed to be gone, and now Cobb and Benson with a big first series.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
8-person crew and our ACC referee Stuart Mullins on that false start call. This Oklahoma State offense, you met Etienne, the left tackle, Preston Wilson, the center, is so important for them. And there you see Richardson, the tailback, who gets the start, replacing Jalen Warren, who made the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Richardson out of the backfield in space, and he gets the penalty yardage back, cartwheeling to the 27. They're going to go fast, so we are too with the lineups here. Oklahoma State starts with this offensive line, which is already ready to snap it. as expected. Some movement on the defensive line for Central Michigan. There is a flag down, and this is Brennan Presley across the 40 to the 44, and a first down.
Yeah, you're going to see right away. A season ago, they played to the strength of their defense, right? We're willing at times.
Offside. Defense. Penalty decline. Result of the play is a first down.
To slow it down and ground and pound, that's not going to be the case. This is going to be back to the old school Brandon Weeden, play as fast as you can possibly play.
They were top 5 in plays last year in the first place. Casey Dunn in his 12th year as the coach here, as the offensive coordinator, as Richardson knocked down by Robbie Stewart, who's back from injury.
But when you've got a 4th-year signal caller that knows these plays as well as your offensive coordinator could call them himself, you can play this fast.
Second down, Sanders, a line drive, incomplete, third down. Here's the Central Michigan defense as they will slow the tempo a little bit with the incompletion to Javion Stepney with the coverage there. Mentioned Stewart back from a torn ACL. He's very happy to be back on the field. Kyle Moretti, an aggressive linebacker, along with Whiteside and Apsey, and then in the defensive backfield, Rolian Sturkey is a guy who's seen a lot of playing time. Kent, the corner, the sophomore, may be their best cover man. Third down and 8 for Sanders. Trying to get out of the pocket. He does. Looking upfield and turning that way, seeking the first down. And he is very close. Stepney took him out of bounds. They will give him the first down.
Yeah, the aforementioned Moretti is the one on the little line stunt, the linebacker that gets into the backfield. But this is what Rob Akey, the coordinator, was concerned about. That's the X factor that Sanders brings. You've got him beat on the whiteboard, right? You get home with the stunt, but you just, unfortunately, with his legs, can't keep him corralled.
His awareness as well to see the first down line. He got there to the 45. Another throw, takes the easy one, and it goes a long way. John Paul Richardson keeps his feet and scores. Well, he wanted big plays.
Just a simple little hitch route right here in the slot. Safety's got to come down in the open field. This system is not just about pace of the snap. It's about speed and spacing. They want those one-on-one tackles in the open field. And John Paul with an enormous, explosive play, fighting his way for 6.
Last year, all of last year, in a 12-win season, they had 8 plays of 40-plus yards. This one goes for 45 and an Oklahoma State touchdown. Tanner Brown, the walk-on for the extra point, through the smoke. And you have to believe that won't be the final firework here in Stillwater this year.
So that play, that was all hitch routes. He could take his pick. He immediately knows where he's going. He finds the softest cushion, and John Paul Richardson does the rest.
I guess you could say it's a big key to spend a lot of time in college football.
It's helpful.
That one goes into the end zone. Time for our Built for Success, presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
Speaking of guys who have been in college for a few years, this defensive line, I'll go on record and say it's the oldest in the history of college football. Maybe some BYU D-lines, maybe. But as far as the experience, 6th year, 6th year, 6th year, 5th year. And that's just the first wave on the hockey line. And then they run out Colin Oliver, and Trace Ford is back. That is not only an experienced group, it's arguably the best in this conference.
3 down linemen on first down, with Bailey checking in for Nichols on first down. And he's got a gash across the 35 into the secondary, batting Cowboys away to the 45 and plus territory, a run of 30.
Well, you talked about that 3-man front, and a tremendous job right in the middle. Look at your center, Kimbrough, in the middle of that offensive line. Move people, move those Cowboys. And that allows, unlike the first drive where those linebackers are screaming downhill, it allows the Chippewas to run, and they impose their will.
Once again, it's Bailey out of the backfield to slip one and get out of bounds for another first down. That was Jabbar Muhammad who had him by the ankle and couldn't finish it.
And you will see this from Central Michigan. They will mix some of their tempo. Unlike Oklahoma State, that's basically on the accelerator the whole game, Central Michigan will do this. They will get to the line in a hurry when they want to.
Nichols, aggressive run again. Second down coming up. Look, Lou Nichols was the leading rusher in the FBS last year, passing Kenneth Walker. Oklahoma State had its best run defense ever last year. Run it again, and he spun into pressure this time. Kendall Daniels got in there first, third down.
Time they bring a secondary defender instead of being on the heels and watching those D linemen get double teamed and the linebackers catch it. They pulled the trigger there with their safety, their nickel Kendall Daniels, number 5. Boy, have they raved about him this camp.
Mike Gundy described him like Rick Wild Thing Vaughn from Major League. He said, we just hope he's going the right direction. He throws 100. Third down and 1. Another run, and that is a beautiful run for the first down for Nichols on the hurdle.
What did you call him, Wild Thing? Well, Wild Thing threw a strike the first time, and that time it was a ball. Because Lou Nichols makes him miss. They once again bring Daniels from that secondary position. And Nichols, the fourth-year sophomore, he sees it coming. He dodges a defender. Critical first down.
1-1 is still a pitcher's count. First down for Central Michigan, and this is over the middle to the tight end Marcus Young, the converted defensive lineman. Second down. Well, he's very close. They are going to move the sticks.
Nice job there with the eyes of Daniel Richardson as Spencer Sanders is experienced and slows the game down. An excellent job by his counterpart Daniel Richardson on this drive.
There is another first down available. That was Daniels coming to the line, and he helped hem him in. Tyler Lacey, the redshirt senior, finished the deal on a loss of 1. Derek Mason can do a lot with this defense. He's a new defensive coordinator. He inherited institutional knowledge. Richardson, second down, got a completion for the touchdown. Carlos Carrier, the transfer for Central Michigan.
That's about as simple as it gets. Zone coverage here. Poor recognition from the Cowboys. Carrier just on a little shallow cross. He reads zone coverage. He finds a soft spot right there. And there's no one to be found. There's no linebackers. There's no secondary defenders. That's a little reminder. As good as that group is up front, there is one Cowboy on the back end that has started more than one game in their career for the Cowboys.
Carrier touchdown. Brock, what do you got on your clicker?
That is a tremendous response, isn't it? Don't you get excited about the clicker yet?
Look, I'm so pumped to see it in action. You've been talking about it for weeks. I just figured, you know what, let's go ahead and do it.
You're just going to have to wait and look at all these beautiful babies and pretty pictures and the stadium excited to welcome back college football.
See, she's also excited about, everybody's excited about the clicker. Presley back to receive. Let's do this.
Now that you've set it up. Okay, we get man-to-man coverage here. Okay, everybody, this is to the field, to the wide side. We got man-to-man coverage. Here's the problem. These two do not communicate. That's Taylor, the new linebacker, Benson. Right, as you watch the play unfold, and you're going to see Carrier. Nobody's communicating here. He is running wide open. Somebody there has to make a call. And that is where the years, you called it institutional knowledge? That's what they had here in Stillwater with so many guys on the back end. A breakdown in communication leads to the touchdown.
When does that call have to happen?
Well, according to Derek Mason, information's in the formation right from the jump.
Sanders wants to launch. There it goes downfield and just off the fingertips of Presley.
This guy can go. In case you needed a reminder from a season ago where he came on the scene, there's not many guys that are going to run with him, and this is a Beautiful ball, just about 6 inches long, 60 yards down the field.
Sanders whips it wide. This is Presley, a little soft shoe, and he finally gets swarmed down. Bristol with the stop, and a marker is in.
That's going to be 71, our big guy in the middle.
Offside, number 71, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Back to Presley.
Just off the fingertips. When you let that ball go, there is so much green grass. Spencer knows it more than anything. You just don't want to do that. When you got a safety beat like that, keep him play.
Long throw to the outside. He's got it for a first down. That's Braden Johnson with his first grab, the senior from Arlington.
The ball is out of his hand in a hurry tonight, isn't it?
And that is a long throw. He had the arm for it. And a first down toss, a little too hot for Presley. Second down.
You see the two of them communicating it right away. A little triple option. Could have given it, could have kept it. That's the last option of today's present day spread triple option. Just a little too much heat on that fastball.
Second down. He lets it rip wide and incomplete. Tell you what, Dante Kent is happy to be here. Third down coming up.
That's Bryson Green. He is playing tonight for an injured Jaden Bray. Expected to see Jaden Bray. He was a scratch. Somebody they were awfully excited about. Kent, he sees that hitch route happen right in front of him with Green, the leader, the voice. They're going to play this game from the inside out. They're going to try to control this group in the front seven. That veteran center and the two guards next to him going to be a key component.
To be clear, you brought it up first. Just for the record, second down and 9 to the sideline, and Carrier right at the edge does bring it in.
So what did new OC Paul Petrino bring up first? This matchup. Not very often you hear an offensive coordinator say, we are going to go after number 7, Muhammad. 2 new corners for Oklahoma State. Right? Muhammad started the Fiesta Bowl a season ago, but they like the size advantage they had on the outside and take advantage of it there.
That was only his first start. That start against Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. A little sprint down. He goes to Wilson, the tight end, who has space, and he gets knocked down short of midfield by Jason Taylor. Gain of 18.
These Chippewas are showing you, aren't they? Both in the response, in the execution. This little sneak route, they call it. Sneak that tight end out. But they're showing you why they beat Washington State in the Sun Bowl a year ago. They're showing you why they're one of the favorites in the MAC this year. They are operating on the road after some early adversity very well.
Again, they have a win here from 6 years ago. It's their only win against a ranked team since 2000, but there are memories in this fan base, and they have this guy, Lew Nichols, who runs very hard in a first down.
And once again, look at this line of scrimmage. Look at these big fellas right here controlling it, getting movement, getting to the linebacker. That time it's Benson that gets swallowed. And I'm telling you, if you give number 7 Nichols room, you give him any daylight, he will make you pay.
Richardson on the run to the edge and a stiff arm, and he does get taken down. It's a short gain. Sean Michael Flanagan was the one who took him down.
Not known as a runner, known as a passer, over 8,000 yards or near it in high school in South Florida, but you got to keep him honest. They're going to bring safeties and nickel defenders. That's been some of the answer for Derek Mason. Every once in a while, at least showing that card that the QB will keep, it's important.
This is for Nichols to the sideline, and I was struck by what Paul Petrino said about Richardson. He knows where his layups are.
Yes, I love that line. Old coordinator said to me one time, the crumbs lead to the cookie, Mr. Heward. Take the crumbs, and eventually the big play will come. Take a layup, take a profit, anything you want, and you're seeing it on display.
Sets them up with a 3rd down and 3 off a high snap. He waits and lobs it, and that rhythm was not there. 4th down.
No, but it was also a double team right there on Carrier. The touchdown earlier, the fade route, and now look at the difference. You see Flanagan, Sean Michael Flanagan at the line of scrimmage. That's why the double pump. In the last moment, he bails out and helps out his corner. So a double team taking away that shot.
It's going to be 50 for Marshall Meter, who was 17 for 26 last year. This effort for the lead is well wide.
He's got to get a new number. I'm sorry. You just can't wear 64. Okay.
So that's the problem.
Well, the swing wasn't the best. The snap and hold, a little high, but good enough. But I don't know. I don't know why Mr. McElwain has got to give his kicker number 64.
We'll see how he responds, not to that, but to the miss.
Yep.
Because he said last year he let the misses get to him. It was an uneven year, and if he's called upon late in the game, it'll be interesting to watch.
Well, that reaction right there tells me he didn't like any of that setup. 8 for 8, freshman, all conference last year, as you said, 17 to 26.
Richardson on 1st down puts his head down to gain a 2. You're looking for a left guard at 64, the number 64.
Just move on.
Well, I would hope you would at some point, but it seems to be a sticking point for you. 2nd and 8 for Sanders. And Richardson gets 2 more. So what do you like here on 3rd and medium with this offense?
Well, what I like right there are 2 good stops by a front. By the way, all the experience Oklahoma State on their D-line, Central Michigan's got a 2. 3rd and 6, you trust your senior quarterback.
Spencer Sanders, pressure right in his face. He gets it away for a 1st down and then some for Richardson again.
That's what I mean. You trust it. You let him pick the matchup. We saw cushion last time with Richardson. This time it's pressure right in the face. It's press coverage that he beats of the other Kemp brother playing corner, Ronald. Big conversion.
The wind up. And the catch on the outside for Johnson. He is dragged down for a loss. Nice play by Ronald Kent Jr., one of those 2 Kent brothers.
That's a pretty cool story, isn't it?
Parents are thrilled, according to the defensive coordinator, Rob Akey. Never got to play together in high school. Get to play together after the transfer here at Central Michigan. Sanders down the middle, incomplete, maybe a little bit behind Johnson.
Again, that is filling in. Bryson Green, he had 12 catches, a couple touchdowns a year ago, but he is filling in for Jaden Bray, who got a lot of work in training camp. Yes, it's behind him. Yes, you'd love to put it in front, but you got to find a way there if you're Green to just turn that body and corral the reception. He can't. Excuse me, that was Braden Johnson, 8, not Bryson Green, 9.
3rd down nonetheless. Sanders, low ball and a diving catch not completed. Incomplete. That's Green, who didn't get his hands underneath.
An incomplete pass.
Well, there
4th
it
down.
is. It was Johnson, the snap before, clearly hits the ground there to Green. And you saw Spencer Sanders, right after that ball in the ground. That's his chest, so that's on me. Those are 2 throws. The first one, Johnson, he could have corralled it. There's no question. That one, he's just got to put in the number of Bryson Green.
Little frustration there on the sideline. Sanders 2 for his last 6. Hutton. And Stepney watches it bounce down to the 1.5. How about Brennan Presley getting downfield? It's awesome. Look, this Oklahoma State program, we've talked about it off the air, but 3-star recruits, they bring guys in, they develop him. Guys like Rodriguez, who's now with the Lions, and Mike Gundy in his 18th season has built something that doesn't get enough respect, it feels like, if we have a chain malfunction.
Well, and I think a wonderful indicator there, Some would argue that Presley's the best player on this offense. Spencer's right next to him, but what's he doing? He's covering punts. Like, that's the culture, the selfless culture that Mike Gundy and his staff have created here.
Nichols hit. Did he get it out of the end zone? He did not. It's a safety. Lamont Bishop.
The runner did not get the ball out of the end zone. Safety.
That's a lot of confidence on that defensive line.
Yeah, that was a defensive line group, and I think a linebacker crew that got an earful in between drives. If we get into the backfield, Bishop gets the tackle. Lacy makes the play.
And then you have Corey Black come in, the defensive back, to stand there and make sure the ball doesn't get over the line. So it's 3 guys teaming to make that play.
That's tremendous awareness.
Y'all heard it at home. It was loud in that end zone, by the way.
And you saw Jim McElwain right there with his hands say, hey, what happened there? Was that inside penetration? Exactly what it was.
Listen in. What is that for a quarterback?
Loud. The bands, the students. Those devices they got to add even more noise in this building, and all set up by Brennan Presley. Let's remember that.
And he's back to return here. And Presley swarmed down short of the 30-yard line. Casey Dunn said to us before the game in our meeting, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, with the defense we had last year, we just had to not mess it up.
Yep.
And this year, they're looking for a little bit more in terms of big plays. There's Casey. 12 years here at Oklahoma State, and he said, look, Mike Gundy is just the absolute best to work for. Understanding of family and how important it is, along with your job. On his first down, Sanders wants a shot down the sideline. He dropped it in perfectly for Johnson.
What were you saying about some more shots, explosive plays, a little double move right here? I love it. That little slant and go. Sturkey is left reaching for air, and unlike earlier when he missed on the shot, that time right on the money.
This offense feeling it. Quick hitter Presley turning upfield, and a first down. The acceleration on display there for Presley.
Yeah, get ready for it, Oklahoma State fans. Get ready for it, Big 12. This is what's coming. Not 59% run, not just pound it between the tackles, but spray the ball everywhere.
We're in official timeout for a malfunction with the chain equipment.
That is our second chain malfunction.
It's first game. First game for everybody. It's hard on that chain crew.
That guy does not believe the first game excuse that you just made.
You want to try to keep up the pace of this tempo?
Do you want to try to explain it to that guy we just showed?
No.
They want to see this offense go, Brock.
Yep. It is what they rep. It's what they practice. Keep an eye on 74, Preston Wilson, too. He is the center. He is the facilitator, the one that gets to that ball and really sets the tone for the rest of the big fellas to fit in beside him.
Sort of fan out next to him and his energy to the football. On a first down, Sanders the lob to the end zone. Sturkey nicely pushed Johnson to the boundary.
Really on the field, it's a complete pass. Take it down.
He sure does. He gets beat on the slant and go, but a corner down here has to know that his friend is at boundary. And you use your shoulders, you use your body contact to force that incompletion.
Second down, a run for Sanders. Woo! And he's weaving in. That was brilliant.
Wow, is that good? This is sweet feet. This is QB draw all the way. You could see the linemen, they engage. A terrific block there by the running back, Richardson, and then that is all Spencer. That is the magician, as Mike Gundy called him, with the sweet feet for 6.
Yeah, Richardson didn't blow him up. He just got a piece as the lead blocker.
Mike Gundy was very good here. For a lot of years as a quarterback, he couldn't make that move.
It even looked like he had stamped his tenure's beginning at Notre Dame. Oklahoma State came back from 21 down.
Mike Gundy reminded him what 18 years of experience looks like.
They have almost a shrine to Mike Gundy through the years in the coaches' offices with all of the different hairdos. Fun man to talk to. Mike Gundy over on the sideline in his 18th season. Nichols on the run, and that is just a swarm of orange. 2nd down.
And once again, it's penetration. Right when Oklahoma State's been watching, right, they've been catching. That is when Central Michigan has success. When they dictate, and once again you see that inside charge, penetration there right from the inside. That was Colin Clay. It was Lacey on the safety. That has been the disruptor to the run game.
Colin Clay, who Mike Gundy said hasn't played since the Rocky movie was out. He's been away for a couple of years with injury after a transfer in. 2nd down, 11. It's Nichols again, trying to be patient and plunging ahead for a couple.
Yeah, and this is Jim McElwain feeling what's going on in this building. Mike Gundy's got a lot of experience, so does Jim McElwain. Those are 2 runs. Try to just take some of the noise, right? You could feel the fever pitch coming. The offense reacting to it. I think just a nice job in game management here. Slow it down, and this becomes a critical, and he knows it, critical 3rd and 8 early.
Got to get to the 35. Swinging out wide, Nichols. Met immediately by Kendall Daniels, the active freshman.
And there you go. That's what the locals want to see. This kid was one of the 5 highest rated recruits in Mike Gundy's history. You're going to see him right here. His eyes are all over it. This is one of the best backs in America, but when you're 6'4", you're 210, you're twitchy, you come downhill and you finish that tackle in the open field.
A drive that started with a 5th negative play forced by Oklahoma State's defense. Elzinga to punt for Presley, and this is returnable for Presley. Oh, he finds his way out of a tackle and skids down on this new turf just installed about a month ago. Oklahoma State with a lead here at home after a quick touchdown drive.
My active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. Now, Skyrizi helps me get going by treating my skin and joints. Along with significantly clearer skin, Skyrizi helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Skyrizi attaches to and reduces a source of excess inflammation that can lead to skin and joint symptoms. With Skyrizi, 90% clearer skin and less joint pain is possible.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like the feeling of improving my skin and joints. And that means everything. Now's the time to talk to your doctor about how Skyrizi can help treat your psoriatic arthritis so you can get going. Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
The fully electric Audi e-tron family is here. With models that fit any lifestyle and innovative ways to make your e-tron your own. Through elegant design and progressive technology, all the exhilaration, none of the compromise. The Audi e-tron family. Progress that moves you.
Starbucks Triple Shot Energy. What gives you energy?
At Booking.com, finding perfect isn't all that difficult. Beachfront property? No problem. Kitchen? How are you guys? Got it. And EV charging. Find your perfect place to stay. Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
My husband took my son. He could take him anywhere.
Why do you think Marco took Luca? He knows something's going on with this guy you work for.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to my son.
The Cleaning Lady season premiere, Monday, September 19th on Fox.
Spencer Sanders conducting this offense beautifully so far.
Big plays come in a variety of ways. That just a quick hitch turned into a 40-yard touchdown. The deep in cut there, and this is what Rob Akey, the deep coordinator, and Jim McElwain, the head coach at Central Michigan, were so concerned about. His legs, leading rusher right now. And in the open field, he's about as good as anybody on this roster.
They also did a great job last year and today so far of keeping him clean. He was only sacked 17 times last year. Oklahoma State quarterbacks were, so 8 for 15 to this point. We'll see what the play call looks like here. They go trips on first down. He goes to the wide side away from it and has a completion in man coverage to Green.
That is a wrong throw. All the way across the field. Longer than you see in the NFL because of those hash marks, and that just shows off the arm strength of the senior.
Here's Richardson. And he's got the first down. Spencer Sanders, I know you've watched his mechanics and you've watched what he's done. What do you think of him as you watch him on tape?
He's a little long, there's no question about it, right? It's extended, it's almost like an outfielder in Major League Baseball that really winds up to throw it, but man, does the velo come.
And there it is, perfect example. I mean, he just ripped that puppy to Presley.
Yeah, yesterday Casey Dunn had a good term for it, the hammer. Right, just watch him here as he swings it around. It's like he's swinging a hammer right there. And it's a little longer than I think the pro guys are going to want, but as quick as the ball comes out, it's payoff.
Dropped down a little bit there, got it to the sideline. Johnson again after a bit of a juggle, and a first down inside the 15.
Well, he is just seeing all the field, isn't he? I mean, just pick your poison. If there's separation, he's finding it.
After the gain of 28, back to the air. Sanders, end zone. Johnson at the end line. What a catch. Wow.
That's a couple guys that have done this a few times in Stillwater. Braden, a 6-year player. He's battled injuries. And what you're going to love here, okay, this may have just been called a fade route, but he's running out of room. So instead of just being dead to the play, he uses his body, presses it against Kent, gives then Spencer enough space to find the touchdown. 5 straight passes as the Cowboys are slinging it.
That's a signal of guys who know each other.
Total confidence.
Right?
Total confidence and trust.
We hope to develop that over the season, but you know, we'll get there. 2 games.
They're doing that right now. How about 20 passes through the first 26 plays?
That's about 80%.
It's a different script than a season ago.
Jackson returns it from inside the 5, and he won't get to the 25. Central Michigan gets it back. Look, Central Michigan a year ago had an outstanding season. They were close to the MAC title game. They won their final 5 games en route to a Sun Bowl they weren't originally supposed to be a part of. But Jim McElwain, a 3-time coach of the year, different leagues. This guy knows what he's doing.
He does. He does. And he knows right now, doggone it, that safety turned the momentum of the game. Because they were right in it there in that first quarter. Got to find a way here to stay on the field. That is a have-to on this drive.
Richardson over the top, and he's got a completion of the 29 and all the way down to the 31-yard line, a gain of 11. Look, they were 1-11 4 years ago, Central Michigan. So there's belief here that kind of came out of nowhere. Cade Conley with the catch for 11, his first grab. Richardson loads it up to the sideline, and that line drive somehow sneaks through to Finn Hogan.
Wow, how about that for the first catch of your collegiate career? The former track and hoop star does an awesome job right there. You see the eyes of Corey Black, press coverage there. He's trying to turn around. That's not even back shoulder, that's back thigh. And a tremendous body control of the 6'5" Hogan to go down and get it.
Another quick set, got it out quickly again. Joel Wilson, the tight end, so he's hit 3 different tight ends in the ball game so far, and a quick release.
Remember the last drive, try to slow it down, you run, your 3rd and 8, you're off the field. Now you get back to what you did on your touchdown drive. Mixing, matching, getting the ball out of your quarterback's hands, trying to get these Cowboys on their heels.
On the run, it's Bailey, about 1.5 yards short, it looks like. This will be an interesting play call here, 3rd and 1.
This feels like 4-down territory.
16-point game, I would imagine so. It is Bailey, and he is dropped. Jason Taylor came slicing in. Let's see if it is 4-down territory.
That's an excellent play out of the veteran on the back end of that defense. His 15th start. Jim McElwain is thinking about it. Yeah, I think he's going to go for it. At least try to hard count if anything else.
Brought in another tight end, Mitchell Collier, from the sideline. It's Bailey right into the teeth of this defense, and he looks like he's about 1 yard short. That is a tough ask with this defensive line.
Yeah, you're trying to play to the strength of your group, right? The strength is those interior 3.
Going on the field, the fifth runner was short of the line to gain.
But the problem is, look at all of this humanity that you're running into. Slanting and stunting even your own guy, unfortunately. Stops the momentum and crushes the play.
Kendall Daniels enjoying his first game of his redshirt freshman season, and it was Lamont Bishop who had that big sack against Boise State last year.
McElwain wants a measurement. He wants them to at least look at it, but they already have, and I'm sorry, Jim, there wasn't enough movement.
Jaden Nixon, freshman tailback, comes in after 14 carries last year, redshirt freshman from Dallas. With all the chain issues we've had, we don't need to have a review of that play. That was about 1 yard shy. 2nd and 9. Sanders again catapults it, this time down the edge, and some jostling leads to a flag. He was looking for Langston Anderson, back from so many injuries.
This is a pretty obvious
pass
call.
Interference. 37. Defense. 15 penalty and an automatic. First down.
That's a senior, Sturkey. They've been picking on him a little bit. It's just that contact right there. And what those back judges are always looking at is that contact interfere with him. Is there a little hand fighting? There is. Was it Sturkey that actually went down? Yes. He's looking at it going, what the heck? I think that contact impeded the route.
Toss out wide. Jake Schultz, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury but does play today. He's got his first grab and a first down. Former defensive end Schultz. Sanders at 2:19, and we are 21 minutes in. Just scanning and eyeing and launching down the field, and again a tangle. And this one incomplete. It was Anderson against Trey Jones.
I think right now this is feeling like 7-on-7 for Spencer Sanders. When you pat the ball and you have that much time and you can even make this adjustment of a throw, he's covered. And kind of like the fade route for the touchdown, he's trying to throw the receiver at that time, Anderson open. But this is looking and feeling awfully easy for number 3 in the pocket.
See what he tunes up here on 2nd down. Quick set. He throws it out wide, and this is Owens to set up 3rd down and about 3. Nixon with his head down. Bulls for the first down.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's Adrian Peterson's cousin, Brock.
And it kind of looked like him there. And I think they just mixed in enough run to keep him honest.
Sanders dodging, and he does go down. Maybe a couple years ago, he's got a notion to try and do something with that, and he decided, you know what?
Yep.
No reason.
Yeah, you learn the value. Remember Peyton Manning, right? What did he do? Throw the ball away. He would avoid sacks. At this stage of your career, you have shown your toughness to your teammates. Much more importantly, now you need to show your durability in protecting the football.
That is a great point. 4 years as a starter. Sanders got it out to Nixon, the freshman. On the turbo jets for a score.
Ooh, that is very good from Preston Wilson, the center right here, who gets out in front of this screen. They've raved about his athleticism all camp long. Good timing here, but it's the big fella in the middle that makes this happen. You see the extra effort there to get to Moretti, the linebacker, and then it's an arm tackle, it's a broken tackle. And it's the second touchdown in Nixon's career.
What does a center like that do for an offense, Brock?
It just facilitates, it sets the tone of everybody. I think he's the most athletic guy at that position Gundy's had here in Stillwater.
Wow. It's almost 2 decades worth.
Presley to down it at the one, a terrific punt as well. I don't want to sell that punt short at all by Tom Hutton. That set the table. Presley gets the safety hit. Tyler Lacey has the penetration. That just changed it. That just flipped the script of this entire half.
That kid's been working on his faces just in case the camera came to him in the crowd for months, as the injured party for Central Michigan, Biggins, comes off the field. Chippewas out of Mount Pleasant, Michigan. He came here in 2016 and on an untimed down and a Hail Mary got a win. And tell you what, Lew Nichols is going to run hard no matter what. This is a young man that could have gone a lot of places for NIL situations, and he decided to stay in Central Michigan for his team.
And he stayed in Michigan. Cass Tech High School powerhouse there in Detroit. Shared carries.
And he dodges for a couple. There's a flag down.
Oh, this is going to be a new rule here that we're going to see in the play. This is a low
Personal
block.
foul. Illegal block below the waist. Number 86. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
We'll see where Young was lined up with that new rule.
Now, this is a point of emphasis. He is not in the tackle box. You're going to see this in college football, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit more than you have in years past. That was a tight end. He is outside the tackle box, and so often you're going to run zone, and you're going to see the block here. You cannot go low. When you're outside the tackles, nobody can start and initiate that block below the waist. That is the correct call, and that's just going to have to be taught to these guys that any block outside the tackle box has to be the waist up.
With that, second down and 20, and it's Nichols who's wrangled for another loss. Benson got in there. Xavier Benson, the redshirt junior from Texarkana. That's the 7th tackle for loss for the Cowboys.
You got a 3rd and 21 play you like?
That's your deal, quarterback man.
Well, if I get a one-on-one, maybe I could throw it up to Carrier or one of these big receivers. Otherwise, draw, screen. This is no man's land.
We saw a successful screen game early for Central Michigan. Here comes pressure. There it is. Just drop it off for Nichols as there's another marker in.
Holding. Offense. Number 75. Penalties decline. 4th down.
It's on the new left tackle, Davis Heinsohn. They lost 2 NFL tackles this past year.
There is Colin Oliver rushing him, yet another name. We haven't said much in this first half, but add him to the list of Colin Clay and Brock Martin and Tyler Lacey and Trace Ford and all the rest that are nightmares the Jim McElwains, they got to come in this building and face that front 4 or 14.
Oliver is a backup, and he led the Big 12 in sacks for a freshman last year. He was 7th in the FBS with 11 and a half of them. Depth for days with his defensive line. Look, this was a 7-7 score until the punt, which led to the safety, Brock.
So good from Presley, knowing right where he is, puts the ball at the 1. It's Tyler Lacey with the penetration. It's Lamont Bishop. And even the heads-up play of Corey Black there as well to make sure they all saw that ball did not come out of the end zone, and it was instant offense. Spencer Sanders with his legs, with his arm, explosive plays. If you had a spray chart like a hitter in baseball, he has sprayed it all over the 53 yards horizontally today.
And he's got a short field, 51 yards to go. He's ready to load up. He goes over the middle, and it's knocked away, incomplete by Stepney, 2nd down.
And that's now 25 passes. Just barely through the 2nd quarter of this game.
At this point, you wouldn't imagine he'd play all 4 quarters as he goes to the sideline here. And once again has Rashad Owens, the sophomore, for a 1st down. Owens, a former triple jump star in high school. Out wide, Nixon in space, and he's out of bounds at about the 32. I mean, this is just fish in a barrel for Spencer Sanders right now.
I said earlier, it feels like 7-on-7. I don't even know if it's that. It's almost routes on air. They're just because of this tempo, this D-line, it's a good D-line. It's just making no impact.
Out wide again, Brennan Presley. And another 1st down. Well, look, 2nd half of the Fiesta Bowl after a late touchdown in the 1st half to Tay Martin. Spencer Sanders turned it up, 371 total, and shocked Notre Dame, who we hear has a pretty big game this week. Sanders gets away. Aaron scores. It is Spencer Sanders night in Stillwater.
Mike Gundy, Big 12 Media Days, a month and a half ago, said this guy's a magician. I mean, they don't even get to feel this in practice, right? There's no live contact. You're not hitting Spencer Sanders. It's not like he's gets to rep that all the time. And John Wesley Whiteside saying, man, this is ridiculous. This guy is toying with us right now.
What do you do against him right now?
You got to try to tackle.
They did. He got away. Certainly has him at the vanguard as well of this league as Richardson goes to the outside for a couple yards. All right, so look, I just mentioned it, and this is what we call synergy. Saturday on Fox, Brent Venables in his debut in Norman. Marvin Mims, a big play threat against UTEP, who's already played a game with some of those kinks out against North Texas. 3:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. What one thing are you most excited to see on Saturday, or interested to see?
No, just Brent Venables' energy. I mean, the folks down in Norman, about an hour and a half from here, are loving what he is selling right now. His juice, his energy. The script has totally flipped. I mean, they have become a defensive. We have a defensive guy and a defensive head coach. And you're looking at the defensive monsters here for the Cowboys. It's going to be a different kind of energy than what we've experienced with Lincoln Riley running really with an offensive flow.
November 19th in Norman this year is Bedlam, the Cowboys and the Sooners. 3rd down, Central Michigan. Richardson takes a couple to the tight end Wilson again, who lurches forward on the 1st down catch.
I think now, even though you operate better with some tempo, when Central Michigan has moved the ball, it's been with some tempo. Gosh, just with the way this game is going, I think I'm taking just a lot more of that play clock down.
For your defense's sake,
yes.
Right? That one whistled right there to the sideline, and Carrier could not reel it in.
Complete pass. 2nd down.
good experience for these two corners on the outside. Muhammad and Black, they've been picked on a little bit. They're going to be, because that is the one element of this defense where there is inexperience, where there is some uncertainty. They've done it on special teams. A spot start for Muhammad in the Fiesta Bowl. Black has played plenty, but he's not been under the microscope as he's going to be sitting out there on the edge having to defend one-on-ones just like that.
Had the blocked field goal in the Big 12 title game, but that is a different story at DB, as this over the middle is caught by Dallas Dixon, and our first chance to call his name, the guy we expected to be maybe the leading receiver today for Central. Transfer from Northern Michigan, Dallas Dixon.
Knocked on the door of the recruiting coordinator and said, winter tryouts. Thank you, Bruce Feldman, for that story. Winter tryouts. Said, what? I want to try out for the team.
And here he is, replacing. Look, if you didn't see Central Michigan last year, Khalil Pimpleton and Ja'Cory Sullivan were dudes at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, and you know who else had dudes? At linebacker, Oklahoma State. And that was a good stunt right there. Sorry to segue back to the game. But
why are you apologizing?
Sione Ossie with a little line stunt, and there you saw Lamont Bishop getting in the backfield. This is a chance for those guys at that level, too, to gain some valuable reps.
Second down, a little bit high on the throw. It's Dixon again. Linebackers did quite a bit of damage here.
Wow. And you know what I love? 6th-round pick, 7th-round pick, active roster, active roster. Do they have every measurable? Nope. And that's why they went late in the draft. Are they unbelievable football players? You better believe it. And that's why they're with the Lions. Hard Knocks star was Malcolm Rodriguez. And Devin Harper, 7th-round pick to the Cowboys' 53-man roster. Well done.
First down run. You watch the highlights of Rodriguez. He is flying all over the field.
There's at times advantages to being a little bit undersized as a linebacker. Mason Cobbs, similar. He's 6 foot tall, 225 pounds. And for the Lou Nichols of the world, they don't like those linebackers, right? That are just heat-seeking missiles that almost, kind of like a running back, can hide behind blockers. Undersized linebackers. Lamont Bishop's not that. He's 6'2", 235, but Cobb is. Nick Martin is, who you're going to see as well, number 4.
Richardson felt the heat, and he slings it to Carrier inside the 5.
Well, that was good, wasn't it? Kind of similar concept as the touchdown earlier. A shallow cross, that time a deep over. And just some miscommunication, the 2nd, 3rd level at times. Something to work on for Derek Mason's defense.
Nichols wants the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Lou Nichols.
You said it, man. Lou Nichols is not going to stop running hard, and either is Carlos Carrier. So you saw the shallow cross earlier for the touchdown. Same kind of concept, just deeper. Right in that time, the linebacker, Lamont Bishop, gets turned around. Just some soft spots in that zone coverage, and then here's Sweet Lou doing what he can do, putting those pads down for 6.
We heard Daniel Richardson from his coaches. The moment's not going to be too big for him, and he's still engaged. They're going for 2. Play clock down to 3. Just in time. Richardson back of the end zone, and he does have it to Jalen McGoy.
Boy, was there some misdirection on that play. And that's a veteran coordinator, Paul Petrino, first year, saying, okay, this defense, when we can block them, we can confuse them a little bit with those crossing routes. And that had a whole lot of pre-snap movement, post-snap movement. Excellent execution from the Chippewas.
That's the misdirection you're talking about.
Yeah, window dressing is what defenders call it. And all this movement before, there's a little motion. There was a shift before that. Look at the receivers crossing every which way. Hard for even veteran defenses on the back end to sort it out. Much more difficult for inexperienced groups.
You saw in that play Nichols, too. I mean, you're talking the leading rusher in the FBS last year with a nice block to make sure that it was clean for Richardson. And so I'm going to ask you a question, and I think I know the answer already. 3 timeouts. What's this look like for Oklahoma State?
Go time.
I figured as much. Hey, coming up at the half, Mike Hill, Bruce Feldman, State Farm halftime show. Backyard Brawl is back. They have had some epic games. West Virginia and Pitt together again. A lot of change at Pitt. Jordan Addison gone. Kenny Pickett gone. The offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple, is gone.
Well, how about 2 former USC guys slinging it? Slovis and JT Daniels in the Backyard Brawl. Only makes sense.
And we'll get a preview of UTEP and Oklahoma. There's Pistol Pete, who I was this many days old when I learned that Pistol Pete is modeled after an actual human being who rode in the homecoming parade at one point. His name was Frank Eden. And there's a run for Richardson. We'll see what they do after that. The kids evidently thought the guy looked like a mascot, so they petitioned to make him the mascot. Pistol Pete is actually a guy named Frank Eden from way back in the day. There, you learned something. Down the middle, wide open. Presley wheeling at the 40. He gets outside. Presley is out of bounds inside the 20. My goodness.
Wow. And look at this throw. I mean, he is swinging the hammer, and he's putting it between the 8 and the 0, and then Presley doing, like the video game, the X button on it. Can't tackle.
Sanders. Late in the half on the lob, and if that got through, well, it's a hail of flags in the end zone. Kent against Presley went to 80 in orange.
Pass interference, number 2, defense. By rule, the ball be placed at the 2-yard line with an automatic first down.
Yeah, this is just so difficult. An inside fade route. You're really giving those twos all the real estate in the world. Kent doesn't come back. He doesn't turn towards the football. Mike Pereira will tell you, you've got to at least look back when you go through the receiver like that. It will generate that penalty every single time. Oh, and by the way, still 14 seconds. And, yeah, 3 timeouts.
3 timeouts, and here comes the defensive line. And that's just frustration for Whiteside.
Offside with contact. Defense, number 13. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
And remember, Oklahoma State gets the ball for Rob Akey's defense to begin the second half.
It's not the thing that thrills him most in the world right now. The run, it's Richardson. Easy does it for point number 43 of the half.
That's pretty good there. Center Wilson, Maturko, the little pin and pull. You're going to see the guard come out here. And then the shoulder of Richardson to drive through the defender. His own guy.
Hey, look, Rodrigo is a salsa dancer, but Spencer Sanders might have his own deal coming up. Tanner Brown, extra point. 5 straight touchdown drives for Oklahoma State. That one took 32 seconds. So the Big 12 is kind of a mystery coming into this season, and a little piece of evidence for the conference has displayed itself in Stillwater in 30 minutes so far.
Yeah, you got that sense, didn't you, yesterday sitting with Mike Gundy? I don't know what Jim McElwain's upset about. He's got to go talk to his guys about tackling. Maybe he doesn't like the pass interference, but you could tell sitting with Mike yesterday. And he said it for years, in his 18 years, we'll never have as much depth. And I said, well, hold on a second. Your D-line goes 14 deep. So I know you could say that in year 5 or 10 or maybe even 15. He's like, okay, you're right. And we do go 8 deep in our O-line, and you've seen that. And you do have one of the deepest receiving corps in the Big 12. Now, running back, Dominic Richardson, Jay Nixon, that's a question mark. They're going to have to continue to stay healthy and grow and develop. But you just start walking through the roster. If those corners can play, that running back can play, you know number 3 can play.
It has been a surgical performance for Spencer Sanders. And the kickoff for Oklahoma State, who deferred. They will get the ball, and Brennan Presley gets swung around by the helmet, and that's going to be a face mask coming in. You like touchdowns? Spencer Sanders has 5 of them in the first half.
And all different varieties, and that's what happens when you've got 4 years banked in this system. That's as simple as it gets. A little pitch and catch on a hitch route. John Paul Richardson did the rest. That was Spencer Sanders' feet. Now we'll just throw a little fade route to Braden Johnson, leading receiver in the first half. Here's a little screen to Jaden Nixon, get him started. And, oh, by the way, we'll just show those fancy feet one more time.
He is now in very good company.
Sorry, I'm getting choked up about it. Patrick Mahomes, the last guy with 300+ passing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns in a half. I'll be all right. I'll make it. First down. Sanders wants another long ball, and he's got it. Braden Johnson again reaching back for this one.
Folks are curious, going to wonder, this kid was seriously talented a couple years ago, missed all of last year, wondered how he could come back, and he's just toying. Much like Spencer, these receivers are just toying with these DBs.
Sanders again, another touchdown on the horizon, and this time it's Green careening into the wall.
Teaching tape. You go into halftime, 44-15, flawless half. You come out, take advantage of a penalty, and do what? Go right at them. Step right on the accelerator. Another 40-yard play, the third of the night on a go-around, and then just a simple pitch and catch fade to the back pylon, executed perfectly.
I mean, Spencer Sanders on the sideline is literally licking his lips. 23 seconds worth after the kick return to get into the end zone again. So 4 plays of 40+, 8 last year, all last year.
Yeah, I mean, Casey Dunn was spot on with us yesterday. Say, hey, listen, you know, the nice thing is when you've got someone with so much experience, you know who you are and what you want to be, and we want to unleash Spencer. Let him. Last year they played the best complementary football of Mike Gundy's career. That's why they were 12-2, best season, everything else. They played to their defense. They are making a statement to the country on the opening night here on Thursday that we can play through our offense in 2022.
So it's officially 29 seconds on the scoring drive. With that, I mean, this is a loud gong for the country, as you're saying here. And the reverberation, we'll see how long it goes. They play Arizona State in 9 days. But man, oh man, this is a sports car of an offense right now.
Yep, it's no line that has just given him time. I mean, has he been hit? He kind of sacked himself on kind of one quasi running play. He's juked everybody else out of their shoes.
But even that one play, that was his decision to set up a second down.
Yep. Let the play another day.
Jackson on the return. And he's to the 19. Here's that last drive in 2 acts.
It's pretty simple. The ultimate team game still comes down to one-on-one situations. Central Michigan leaves once again. The corner, that time Sturkey on an island, one-on-one, you get beat. Now we'll flip it over to the other side. We'll pick on Dante Kent. He's in a one-on-one, and a perfect throw with a touch like that, and receivers can go get it. Leads to this kind of just offensive explosion.
51 on the board. Now Richardson, who's been very efficient, has another completion to Joel Wilson, the tight end. That's his 4th catch already.
20 of 23 for 200 yards for Daniel Richardson. I mean, he's operating. He doesn't have the touchdowns, doesn't have the explosive plays that Spencer nor the legs. But as far as seeing the field, getting the ball out, giving his guys a chance to do damage, it's awesome.
Nichols rummaging for a first down, and frankly, you know, Oklahoma State's not going to go many games this year, you wouldn't imagine, without sacking the quarterback. He was not sacked, Richardson, in the first half.
And many times the ball's just out of his hand, which is smart, which you knew coming in. You're not going to drop him back against this crew. Get the ball out, move the pocket, play action, screens. Some crossing routes have been highly effective to Carrier. Richardson
down the edge, and he's got it for McGoy, who did hold on.
This is the same thing that you've seen the Cowboy receivers do. Get on top of Corey Black. He loses, the corner does, right off the jump. Once you give that kind of body positioning to the receiver, and McGoy gets on top of you, you're dead.
Goes for 29. Nichols, a little hesitation. A couple of yards worth for Nichols, who might have gotten a word from Brendan Evers. His 49th game on that defensive line. Paddle people in rhythm.
You said you weren't going to call him that.
That's their name. I call you Brock. I call them the paddle people. It's easy. Second down throw toward the sideline. Some hand fighting, and eventually this is caught. McGoy with a brilliant grab down to the ground.
Gosh, you know what else is easy tonight? Just putting the ball in the air and letting these guys go get it on both sides. That is beautiful from the Ball State transfer. Inside fade route. Daniel Richardson says, Spencer, whatever you can do, I can throw it too.
They love McGoy because he might have had his biggest game at Ball State against Central Michigan, a 2-touchdown game a couple of years ago. Nichols drives his legs down to the 1.
Boy, he stops in a hurry, doesn't he? That time it was the safety Jason Taylor that is left reaching. He is a big back. That is a prototypical NFL running back. 220 pounds, you're going to run 4.5, but then you've got the feet in the open field, and that time he makes Taylor miss.
Second and goal from the 1. It's a throw for Richardson, and McGoy does
throw it. They know they've got a deep receiving core even without Jaden Bray tonight. And there is no Blaine Green, still coming back from a wrist injury as well. How about a little run game? I mean, is this a time where you start to work on a little bit of stuff? I mean, you figure Central Michigan's going to play with so much cushion, right? Those two safeties have got to start to stay deep at some point. No, you still lock the safety down.
Yeah, they're climbing one back into the box there, and this will be a run, and it was that safety Jones who got the first lick. Second down.
We do start to wonder here, do you just start to work on a little stuff in the opener, get a little bit of that run game, feel a little bit of that push at the line of scrimmage? Or do you just keep taking shots?
I mean, that looks like fun, right? Sideline ball incomplete for Johnson. How much do you want to put on tape? What do you want to do with this half?
Well, and you see right there, Spencer Sanders says, my fault. So that was I'm going to guess a run play, and he just said, the heck with it. I got a one-on-one, and I'm going to throw it because Braden didn't even turn around and look at it. How much do you want to put on tape? You put 4 years on tape with Spencer Sanders. Most importantly, what you want to do is continue to build the continuity and rhythm with some new pieces up front and your run game.
Pocket collapsed a little bit. He slung it out wide, and this ball ends up coming loose out of the hands of Cassidy over the sideline and out of bounds. Nick Apsey jarred it free. Moretti came over as well, so it's fourth down.
Completing pass followed by fumble backward out of bounds.
And I think that is a fumble. They look at everything. I don't think there was a body part down. I think Cassidy landed right on top of Apsey as the ball's fumbled out, and a 3-and-out for the Chippewa defense.
So Aussie punter Tom Hutton boots it away.
Effort to get through the redshirt freshman tackle, and you can just see it, man. That body, that's body by glass right there, the strength coach.
Svelte. It's a strength coach that just added on to his tenure here with a new contract before the season. And a guy that Mike Gundy really appreciates and thinks is maybe the centerpiece of this program.
Well, Mike Gundy has said about Rob Glass, he's the most important guy in this program. There he is right there, and you can always tell strength coaches, they get that shirt tucked in. So sweatshirts, polos, long sleeve shirts, it is tucked in.
It's an easy find to the sideline. 3rd down 14, here they come again, and this is a diving pick for Kendall Daniels.
Ooh, and how good is this right back here? Look at those eyes. He is just watching that quarterback the entire time. He took notes a season ago as a redshirt, watching those veterans behind. He reads the eyes. That ball skims by the umpire. He's got to adjust. And I think he digs this out for his first pick as a Cowboy.
How about that? The sack leads to the turnover pretty directly.
Yep.
And the first turnover of the ball game on a short field, Oklahoma State. It is still Spencer Sanders. We expect maybe to see Gunnar Gundy as the backup quarterback. He won that job, and Ollie Gordon, the freshman, they are very high on just getting his feet wet on his first carry.
Welcome to college football. And welcome to Justin Whiteside saying, how does my face mask taste? Because that was a collision. As you see, Gunnar Gundy knows it's only so long before he's going to get in this game tonight.
Sanders, 2nd down. He unloads again, and it's batted away, incomplete. Nicely done by Johnson to knock it away from Jones.
Yeah, this is underthrown. We saw a little overthrow earlier. You see that hammer, right? That just dropped in the delivery, and Braden Johnson, that's what veteran receivers do. And QBs love that right there. He knows it. He knows he underthrew it. And Johnson makes him look good by knocking it away.
Great look from our crew. Backside pressure. Sanders is sacked for the first time by Thomas Incoom.
So here's what we learned. If I only would have asked for defense earlier. And this is all effort here.
Leading rusher in the FBS last year, Lou Nichols for Central Michigan, just 47 yards tonight.
He's toted it 20 times, but many times they've looked like that. Tackles for loss, 11 of them from the Cowboys. They've not waited, right? You have seen Kendall Daniels get involved. You've seen those linebackers on stunts. Been penetration at times on that defensive line. You can't let 7 get started. And I'm sure that was the theme all month long. You cannot let that train get going, or he's going to run over you. Much better job by Oklahoma State consistently making his feet stop behind the line.
They tried to loosen it up with the screen game early. Had a little success, but 47 yards, and now backed up to about the 9. Miles Bailey in at tailback, and he hits the hole pretty hard and sneaks by a tackle for a gain of 9.
Yeah, there's going to be a little tape reel. We'll tell the truth Friday, Saturday, whenever they get together at Oklahoma State. Some of that tackling on the back end, it's been pretty good up front with all those tackles for loss, but we've seen on the back end of that defense at times so stout a year ago. Some of the youngsters and the inexperience showing in tackling.
This is not a missed tackle because there were 3 dreamsicle colored jerseys waiting, and Daniels, who missed the tackle on the last play, got this one.
Well, he is much better going this way. What was he, Wild Thing?
He was Wild Thing.
He's Wild Thing. Yeah, here he comes. He's Wild Thing right off the edge. And don't let him hesitate. Don't make him think too much. Let him just go. And you know, in a couple years, he's 6'4", 205 right now. Made by glass, about 220 in a few years. So frightening.
That is a scary thought, huh? 3rd down run. The toss. Oh, boy. Carnage. Benson got in there along with Muhammad.
And Colin Oliver on the edge, right? Last year, just a speed guy. Can't do that. Got to keep growing and developing. He makes this, right? He sets the edge right there first. His strength to go right through that. See that? He gets out on the edge, and then the play's done. Slow down. You let your corner, you let your linebackers, you let everybody else feast.
He pivoted 3 times, looking for an official to say he got held.
I think he had a fair question.
He couldn't find anybody to ask for a flag, and he still made the play anyway, eventually allowing his defense to get there. Richardson back to receive. Fair catch. Back inside the 35.
You asked me like a rhetorical question. What do you do? How do you stop him? Well, back-to-back 3 and outs. For Central Michigan, a little bit more about the accuracy, I think, in the second half here, Spencer, than necessarily the defense.
Gordon, what's the psychology then for this drive? What does Mike Gundy want here?
I'm going to guess he pulled Spencer aside and say, hey, listen, go get one more touchdown here. Just feel good. It was unbelievably efficient first half. Go down and score so I can get Gunner in the game.
Sanders checks it down. It's Gordon. Oh, boy. Put him in the spin cycle. And a first down. Oklahoma State.
You know what I like? I like the little chip on the way out into that route, and then the spin move. He kind of looks like Lou Nichols on the other side, doesn't he?
A little bit. A little bit of the build. Pressure coming. He got hit. That's Michael Heldman. It's an incomplete pass.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
There's an injured Central Michigan player down on the field. It's Malik Dinkins who is down. Malik Dinkins, the injured player for Central Michigan, defensive lineman. The rare situation where we saw Spencer Sanders see pressure.
Yeah, playing a little bit of depth on that offensive line. As Mike Gundy said, he feels pretty good about 8 guys. Jason Brooks in there at right tackle that time. Back up to the starter Springfield. So you're seeing some of the O-line mixed in a little bit. And you are seeing a relentless effort here from Central Michigan defensively. Very easy in a game like this, Jason, to just say, we got no answers. I mean, we can't do anything. Can't defend him, can't tackle him. Rob Akey, the D coordinator, Jim McElwain, the head coach, said that's not what we're about. It's not what he's ever been about, anywhere he's ever been. They're pretty tough kids that play hard. As you see Dinkins coming off of the field, lower leg injury, and they have not.
Well, you know Rob Akey, you've known him for a while. I mean, he says, look, if I want them to play physical and with emotion and all of that, I'm going to be down there, I'm going to be in it, and that's the last guy that's going to give up the energy for the night.
No question.
Second down. Sanders. Quick for Gordon out of the backfield, and it takes 3 to take him down. Jones got him by the leg.
You know, we mentioned on the other side a bunch of times, Kendall Daniels is just different, right? This has always been a developmental program, but the Kendall Daniels, the Ollie Gordons, those are 4-star difference makers.
Oh, it's a drop for Owens right on his chest. He let it get to his body, and it's 4th down.
Well, you know what he wanted. I mean, it's one-on-one out there. He wanted pay dirt, and he just let that body. That sounded like a backboard here.
Yeah, it did. He wanted to disappear down the sideline.
Well, got to catch it first, and that's 3 straight series now. After all of that hyperbole, after all of that talk, after all that efficiency in the first half, and that look kind of says it right there. Like, that's not the number 3. That's 3 straight drives. That's not Cowboy football that looked anything like the first half.
Tom Hutton, the punter, who we mentioned he worked in a paper mill back in the day. We learned all offseason that Mike Gundy is a major cinephile. He cited Rocky as somebody who loves movies. So he cited an officer and a gentleman when he was talking about Hutton, the punter, and his paper mill activities from back in the day. Mike Gundy loves some old movies, along with one-arm push-ups, as we learned on social media.
Yeah, this is a little new territory for Mike Gundy, though, and this will be fun to watch him weight it, and that he'll do it favorably. But this isn't just 2- and 3-star world, and bringing a 30-year-old from Australia. As I said, you can look at these guys off the bus. You can look at Kendall Daniels. You can look at Ollie Gordon. You can look. We haven't even seen Talon Shetron yet. These 4-star difference makers.
And again, late in games, right? Late in games, you run 14 defensive linemen out there. Somebody's going to be fresh.
Yeah, a bunch of them. Like Latu, Tui Alamaka. We're going to see Cody Walterscheid, Tyron Irby. This is the benefit, man, and it benefits you week 1, but so much more, and you know this, Jason, so much more over the course of the season where you do need those big bodies.
Richardson throws it over the top, incomplete, and especially, I mean, people are going to get injured in a football season, in a baseball season, in a basketball season, whatever it is. That depth, if it allows you to play basically full strength, that is a major advantage.
And I'm excited. Trace Ford's on the field, 94, right there. I mean, 2 years ago, he was the guy. He was the calling all of us. He was the, oh my gosh, he's going to shatter records. And then 2 ACL injuries later, he's now finding his footing. And if he comes back with that kind of ferocity off the edge, as he gets confidence, look out.
3rd down and 12. It's a middle screen, and they have it for Wilson. And Joel Wilson shimmies across that line to gain for a 1st down.
Why scatter? Usually what that's called in the playbook for Coach Petrino, Coach McElwain, all the way back to the Eastern Washington, the Montana State Big Sky days. Everybody get out, and why scatter? You go find that little soft spot on that screen. Big 3rd down conversion.
Richardson is hit as he throws, and that might be the biggest lick he's taken tonight. There's a marker coming down at the end of the play.
That was Sean Michael Flanagan again. Some of these secondary defenders for Derek Mason getting involved at the line of scrimmage.
Pass interference. Number 3, defense. Automatic. 1st down.
Here's a hit by Flanagan first.
And you feel this coming. You know it. You got a one-on-one out there for a reason, because you're going to take that lick.
That's Cam Smith on the outside with the hug here.
Once again, just turn the other way, young man. Turn that head back to the quarterback and give yourself a chance to not see that yellow penalty flag.
Richardson gets outside and runs. That's a 1st down. By the way, that fake slide that Kenny Pickett did no longer allowed, just in case you're wondering. New rule.
Nice job here. Once again, 5-man pressure. Derek Mason has said we're going to continue to be aggressive. But Nathan Latu there loses contain. Snow junior college transfer, his brother. Stud tight end at Alabama. Got to keep containment. Even though Daniel Richardson doesn't look to run, you give a soft edge like that, he'll take advantage.
First down throw to the sideline. It's Dixon once again.
These Chippewas are going to score some points in MAC football this year. They did a season ago, about 7.5 wins projected for them this season. They're going to be right in the fight as they were last year. It's Daniel Richardson. He can spin it.
They were 2nd in the MAC last year, 33 points a game, 2nd in passing offense as well. And this is a run for Nichols, and it's 3rd down and a couple.
And in the MAC, you know what you don't see?
What's that?
You don't see all these D linemen. Lou Nichols isn't going to see Brock Martin, Evers, Ossie, Lacey, Ford, Drew Elamaka, Oliver, Latu, and on and on and on with waves at the strength of this group. Trace Ford right there. A difficult night for the nation's leading returner. 22 carries, just 46 yards. This front has a lot to do with it.
This crowd's still live. 3rd down and 3. Short set and incomplete. Pass was low. DeMarco Jones was on carrier.
That's good stuff right here. Again, just a bigger receiver. We've seen a bunch of one-on-ones, a bunch of fade routes. When you're giving up size, you better get your hands on the receiver as Jones, redshirt junior, does there. But much more importantly, rip at the reception point to force fourth down.
4th and 3. Spread it out, 4-man rush. Quick trigger again, and he's got the first down to McGoy.
Ooh, and this is close. Watch this right here. Right, little out route. You got outside help there at corner as well. Muhammad, I guarantee you by the end of the year in that coverage, he's going to be a tick faster. He's going to see that out route on 4th and 3 and jump it. He doesn't. And once again, a perfectly thrown ball on time moves the sticks.
Left Harper with McGoy. Minute and a half to go, third quarter. Richardson, a laser, and that is incomplete, and a marker is in on Thomas Harper, the younger brother of Devin.
You know what this is called? It's called a turn of the receiver. Watch Harper grab around the waist, and once they turn.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Pass interference, defense number 13. Ineligible player downfield, number 17, offense. The foul's offset. First down.
That's Hogan, the receiver, who was ineligible as he lined up.
On the ball. And that twist right there from Thomas Harper, you just can't do that. Can you have a little contact? Can you have your hands on guys? Yes. But once you turn them, guarantee call. Don't say it.
1st and 10. Richardson to throw, and the receiver Hogan fell. Just taking a couple of hits here.
Kind of like this from Derek Mason. He is not held back. That time the linebacker, it's been the safeties very active in the rush. Mason Cobb that time. He's just introducing himself. See right there? How are you? Let me help you out.
Is that what that was?
Uh-huh. Welcome to Silmar.
Would you like a snack? 2nd down. Richardson had nowhere to go except down in the arms of Lacy.
This guy is going to be a pro. You see the coverage behind all this pressure. Now you're going to drop 8. Right, so you've kind of mixed coverages. You've brought a lot of people, but now there is nowhere to go because 8 Cowboys are in coverage. And then Lacy right off the edge. He's going to be a 5 technique for the New England Patriots for 10 years. Just watch.
You think so?
Yeah, he's just that kind of versatile guy. We saw him earlier with the safety, the penetration. That time right off the edge. Awesome football.
He's worked inside and outside for them in camp as Carrier dodges his way to the 49, and that's all on a 3rd and 21, and good luck with that against this defense.
There's your paddles.
You can hear them all the way up here. It's like Thunder Sticks Plus.
Okay.
Oh, there they are. By the end of the season, we're going to get you one of those hats. Should do it for the 3rd quarter. How about Central Michigan, though? Very easily, you said that they
coverage, right? The snap before zone, he beat it. Come back, bring some pressure, man-to-man. The slant route was there, just a rare miss tonight.
2nd down, enough time. Richardson, the lob for the touchdown. It's Miles Bailey, the running back, on the wheel to the sideline. And it's 51-28.
We have seen this, as have the youngsters here at Oklahoma State. Some of this coverage, that's now over 400 yards of offense for the Chippewas. And once again, it's communication. Is it man? Is it zone? Do I go with that wheel route? Do I go with the crossing route? Daniel Richardson, 29 of 38, 324, 3 touchdowns on the night.
It's the one pick by Daniels. That's Carrier in motion on the two-point conversion, and it's on his hands and incomplete. It was Carrier. He couldn't haul it in. 51-28.
Communicating, whether that's going to be the safety, these two guys with the linebacker, but there's not enough communication, unfortunately, between that inexperience on the field.
Nixon on the return, busting through to the 29.
I mean, this is going to be teaching tape. This is going to be teaching tape for Derek Mason because there's guys open. In zone coverage. Are we carrying routes? Are we not carrying routes? And there's going to be a little tape here as we still see Spencer Sanders of guys. You can't just coast as easy as it was in that first half. This is college football. These are guys on the other side that are competitive. And if you don't do your job, if you don't know it's a run or pass, you don't catch it right off your chest, 3 and outs ensue.
And now this is almost for protective behavior here with a flag down. They go to the sideline for Green. This is a 3-score game. This is preventative from Mike Gundy.
It is.
Offside. Number 9, defense. Penalties decline. First down.
You don't like to see that. Right? There's no Jaden Bray tonight. There's Braden Johnson limping off after the catch. Do not want to see that here in the fourth quarter either.
Sanders to the edge, and this is incomplete. Well, one official said incomplete, one said intercepted over on the sideline. It's Davis on the edge. The official coming from the backside said it was intercepted.
I think this is intercepted. I think it's an unbelievable play by the junior college transfer Davis to get a foot in bounds. As long as he controls it right there, they're playing cover 2. He's seen it the whole way, a fade route. Foot is down. He has possession, possession, possession. And I think that's going to be an interception, putting the ball right back into Chippewa's hands.
Really on the field was an incomplete pass. Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So regardless,
Correct.
It wasn't going to stand.
Correct. That's an interception, but with the offsides, that offsides took
Really
that
on the
interception
field,
away.
an incomplete pass is under further review.
So they're going to review it, but it was offside anyway, so you're going to take the penalty. Just for our own edification to know if it was an interception.
I think Spencer Sanders, you hear him right there, said, I saw the flag. I knew it was a free play. I'm going to take my shot. I think if I can read lips well enough, he knew he had the offsides penalty because this is a terrific play from Davis.
Mike Pereira, our rules expert. Why are they reviewing this, Mike, with a penalty there?
That's a good question. I mean, it might be the question of the day here because, as you say, the offside penalty is going to take away the interception. Sometimes replays so focused on whether or not it's a catch or an interception at the sideline that they don't focus on the fact that there is a penalty on the play. And I'm sure that when this is all said and done, they'll look back at this and say, we never should have stopped it.
Mike, is this an example of Central Michigan, Oklahoma State?
After further review, the pass was intercepted. However, the offside penalty is still accepted. 1st and 5.
Mike, is there a grading situation here? Does that change an official's grade in any way?
No. This is just something. And look at now replay. They work at this, and Dean Blandino works at this a lot with the NCAA. You don't want to interfere with the game when you don't have to, and replay does not do anything with stats. So just because that pass was intercepted, it's not going to reflect in stats anyway. So it's just a miscue of not thinking through the whole process.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
And nor does 2016 play a role in 2022?
That's correct. Right up the middle, Richardson for the first down.
Well, you see that starting group back in on that offensive line, and that was their best run of the night. I mean, that's outside zone. That's what it is supposed to look like right there. The big boys, Wilson and Springfield, ETN, everybody getting involved and pushing For the first time in some time, these Chippewas off the ball.
To the outside, Presley. And that is Braylon Presley, Brennan's brother. There are a couple sets of brothers on this team, and there's one of them in play here. And he got a big round of applause for that catch from the home crowd. We will be in Norman on Saturday for the other half of Bedlam coming up in mid-November. Another run for Richardson. Just digging hard for the first down.
Yeah, but again, just miscommunication up front. That's Preston Wilson. He's thinking Maturko, the left guard, is going to be with him. He's not. There is going to be a bunch of fine-tuning off of this tape, which is what you want. Which is what you want in week one. That first half came way too easy. The second half, a reminder that details matter.
In every phase we've seen with the block punt as well. Richardson into the secondary. First down, Oklahoma State.
This one's just right at Kyle Moretti, the linebacker 22. You're going to see him right here in your screen. And one arm's not going to get it done.
When he hits people hard, they call it getting Moretti in Mount Pleasant, but it's tough to Moretti anybody when you're on your way down to the ground because of that offensive line. Sanders jukes to the outside and somehow finds his way to the 1-yard line.
He is strong, isn't he? I mean, we've seen the elusiveness and the quickness just like that as he sets up Ronald Kent to get outside. Running through a tackle, running through a tackle. Leading rusher for the Pokes tonight with now 57 yards.
5 first half touchdowns. Zach Middleton in at tailback along with Richardson. It's Middleton toward the goal line, and he is in. Touchdown, Oklahoma State.
Well, some firsts on that drive for Braylon Presley. First reception as a Cowboy. For Middleton, who's going to be some of the short yardage back, a little bit bigger, and he's just going to follow behind the right side of that offensive line. That's pretty close.
Ooh. For a guy who showed up here as a wide receiver. He does end up with a rushing touchdown here tonight.
Like a family atmosphere.
This kick goes rolling on into the end zone by Logan Ward. Mike Gundy very famously announced to everybody when he was 40. But he's been here for a very long time. Mike Gundy through the years at quarterback, then assistant coach. Watch the hair as we do this. Just watch it evolve. Sunglasses, add the shades. It's a long time in one place.
All I know is that is great hair. Part of the reason he still looks so young at 55. It isn't going anywhere.
No, he was talking about that during the week, that, you know, he had once thought about maybe 65 could be the end point, but
he feels better than ever.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think when you built it the way he's built it, you have the support that he has at the athletic director position, the presidential position, the resources that continue to pour into this program to give him everything he needs. 18 years ago, he didn't have the tools that he has today.
Tip ball, Nichols makes a catch, and he gets run down. Part of the tools that he has at his disposal include his strength and conditioning coach, Rob Glass.
Yep.
Little helmet ball here. There are times that would have been an illegal touch. That rule has changed this year. That was an unintentional touch. Just went off the helmet, so it is a legal complete pass. As that's McGoy for the first down.
Yeah, and it's not lip service. He doesn't ever say anything just to say something. And when Mike Gundy says to us very clearly, that man right there, Rob Glass, is the most important person in the program, I believe him. I believe him. He's replaced coordinators and position coaches, but not that guy. 18 years as a strength and conditioning coach. He sets the tone. He molds the clay that then they can coach.
He is the first guy to really attach himself to the players when they come in, which allows them for Gundy to coach.
Well, that 20-hour rule is very real, and it makes it difficult on coaches to try to implement all they want to from a character build, toughness build. It's that man. It's that strength department. It's those early enrollees in January. They're like, is this real? And the veterans are like, yeah, bro, this is real. This is what it's about here in Stillwater.
There's Hogan. They have the firm belief that late in the season, that's part of the reason they get better and are ready for all the plays they run too.
I mean, the other reality, and Rob knows this, 18 years ago, guess what there were? Two-a-days and tackling and Oklahoma drills and all of that stuff and all that contact that you could create toughness on the field. Now that has to be done in the weight room, in the conditioning department. And he spearheads it all.
As Hogan again wrestling for that ball. It did come out at the end. They will say it's a complete pass.
And a 5-year commitment, by the way. Awesome. As he just inks that new deal. And this is a terrific catch. We've seen Hogan use that big frame. And the body control. Ooh. So replay wants to take another look at that.
They do not. Richardson to the sideline. Carrier was battling with Black. And a flag comes in.
A little New York Giants Eli Manning component on the helmet, didn't it? David Tyree right there. Finn Hogan pulled out.
Pass interference. Defense number 2. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, these corners, they're going to get challenged in Derek Mason's system. You're going to have to be out on an island. If you're going to bring all these defenders and stunts and linebackers and safeties and nickels, Jabbar Muhammad, Corey Black, Marco Jones, get ready, because you're going to be in one-on-one coverage, and you are going to be tested on the perimeter like Central Michigan has tonight.
Nichols gets in. Touchdown. Derek Mason said if you're 1 foot late, if you're late, he'll take you to the house. He'll go yard on you.
And look at your guy, Jameis Kimbrough. Look at him lead and pave the way. Can't do it better than that. Not many times did you see Cowboy linebackers last year and Rodriguez and Harper take shots like that Mason Cobb just took. Kimbrough showing you why he's the leader, the voice, the captain, the best guy up front. That's textbook.
Call him the train conductor out of lovely Homewood Flossmoor High School in the south suburbs of Chicago. Turned out some tremendous people. Richardson, and look, Central Michigan's hanging around.
This is 468 yards. That's another wide open receiver. That's a busted coverage, not communicating. That's Central Michigan moving the ball up and down the field tonight.
We mentioned Mike Gundy has been here 18 years, but never has he had a moment like he may be having right now. Spencer Sanders is done for the night. Mike's middle son, Gunnar, who has said his goal so far in life has been to be the quarterback of Oklahoma State, is getting the opportunity right now to play quarterback for his dad.
How cool is this?
Gunnar Gundy, who used to stand behind his dad and ask questions of his dad all the time, knows exactly what he's doing. He gets outside on his first carry playing for his father. It's a gain of 5. Here are the Gundys through the years, and what an awesome moment this is, and a very proud dad. We asked Mike Gundy, does Gunnar want to play for Oklahoma State, or does he want to play for his dad? And he said he wants both.
and has for 18 years. On his hip pocket at practice, been a football junkie, live for this moment.
And Dad has said when he's in the locker room, he is not my son, he's a player. And they have that agreement and that understanding, but there's got to be something fluttering in that heart of Mike Gundy right now.
I think he's rooting for this 3rd and 3 just a little bit more when it's your own blood.
Gotta be. Third and 3. It's a run and it's a stop. Nixon is sent on back.
Timeout. So Michigan, their first of the half.
Now he's definitely coach and not dad, right?
Yeah. That's what you do. You take care of young quarterbacks, right? Try to run the ball.
30-second timeout.
They don't block Robbie Stewart, the big D tackle we talked about earlier in the game, coming off an ACL injury himself, and that's what Mike is saying right there. What happened in that scheme? Why did we let the big nose tackle just remain largely unblocked to stop that 3rd down? But I love the first down call. Put it in his hands, let him run because he can run. And those are 3 reps. Might not look like much on a stat sheet, but I promise you he will remember those, as any quarterback does, as any player in college football does, your first snaps as a collegian.
And that's the smile you play for.
Gosh, he looks young.
His entire life, his dad's been the head coach here at Oklahoma State. His younger brother, Gage, a standout baseball player here in Stillwater. Central Michigan will get it back as we take a look at our drive of the game, sponsored by Lincoln and the power of Sanctuary. It was the punt leading to the safety and the touchdown, and this big hit from Sanders.
Yeah, a little double move, a little slant and go. You just love the distribution tonight. We've talked about it, just spraying it all over the field. This was not a run-first offense. This was not hammer Jaylen Warren between the tackles 30 times. This was, okay, number 3, the system is yours.
And that was just smooth and easy for the entire first half. What changed, you think, here in the second half?
Oh, they took just the concentration, just the attention to detail, just busted assignments and mental errors. And Jim McElwain's guys saying, we're not going to lay down and we're not going to give up.
Well, Jim McElwain said to us, we want them to have felt that we leaned on them a little bit. We made it tough for them, and absolutely in the final 30 minutes they've done that.
Oh, there's no doubt. Now, it's not as physical as he wants it to be. The tackling improved a ton. Sure, Rob Akey and Jim had some conversations, especially with the secondary guys, about how they need to finish. A lot of new faces, tackled a whole lot better in the second half, but they have felt Daniel Richardson all game long.
Wilson again, the tight end. A lot of these coaches in this game, by the way, have known each other for a while, back to the Big Sky days, and there's a lot of like, I thought that he thought that I thought I was going to do this, and we may be seeing some of that here in the second half, too.
Timeout for an injured player.
It's Benson down for Oklahoma State. What are you doing Saturday?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
You and I are hanging out in Norman.
Yeah, I was hoping you're going to say this unless the schedule changed. Brent Venables' first game in Norman. And I know Oklahoma State fans who are watching this game are like, we don't want to hear about it. It's an important moment, not only for Oklahoma, but for this rivalry as well.
And you know Boomer Sooner is watching it tonight, wondering about Derek Mason, just like Cowboy fans are going to wonder about Dylan Gabriel and Brent Venables. And how much different does it look with a defensive-minded head coach instead of Lincoln Riley running the show there?
Dylan Gabriel reunited with Jeff Lebby, his offensive coordinator from UCF. They will take on a UTEP team that lost in its opener against North Texas. And a 3rd and 1 stop for Kendall Daniels again.
Is that another tackle for loss? 16 for this Cowboy crew defensively. They've given up almost 500 yards. Daniels has now a tackle and a half, an interception. And feast or famine a little bit defensively. You love the tackles for loss. You love what you've seen out of him when he's been aggressive coming downhill. But the coverage end of things, Jason, has left a lot of teaching tape.
Maybe a little more here on 4th down and 2. It's a run, and it's Nichols changing direction for a 1st down.
That is so good, as was Marcus Young's block. You're going to watch the tight end come across here, and he hits Dad. I mean, that's a grown man, Brock Martin, that he hits, and he collapses. Whatever he hits, he destroys. In that time, Marcus Young did just that to set the edge.
On a 1st down throw, batted away by Flanagan. You mentioned the tackles for loss. That's the most tackles for loss for Oklahoma State in 20 years since Josh Fields and Aso Ogai were playing quarterback for the Cowboys. Wow. Some names from the past for you.
I mean, that's a stat that they dominated a year ago. Just about everything they did. They were number 2 in the country in tackles for loss, behind Central Michigan, in fact.
We just had a timeout because a 12th man was running off the field for Oklahoma State, which I'm sure will just really make Derek Mason a little more enthusiastic about.
Well, this will be an interesting one for Derek Mason up in that booth. We talked about that earlier. Big move for Mike Gundy. He loses Jim Knowles to Ohio State in this day and age. It's not just players that transfer and leave. And here comes Derek Mason from Auburn, and that look says it, shaking his head. 12 men on the field. Mike Gundy's going to give me the earful. This is my first time here. Although we learned yesterday, great-grandma from Stillwater, Oklahoma. But there's a lot of miscommunication. I found it fascinating. He's learning their language. This is not a wholesale Derek Mason scheme and shift. This is the Cowboy way that I'm learning in. I'm tweaking. I'm fitting in some of my language. The communication's got to grow.
2nd down throw right down the seam, and McGoy breaks free. Another missed tackle and a touchdown. Now, this is a 2-score game, by the way. And it's 100 points.
This is awesome. Just a little vertical switch release. You see him come up on the seam. Big body, great scheme by Paul Petrino once again, setting guys up for success. Daniel Richardson putting it right on the money yet again. 420 yards, 4 touchdowns. And how about the Ball State transfer? They told us this kid's big. He's strong. He's fast. He's going to be a difference maker for us. 2 touchdowns tonight. He certainly is.
He doesn't like to stop. He likes to go. And he just did right there. 2-point conversion. Richardson has it. Easy. Wilson. Derek Mason just kind of looking around like, what is going down here?
Yep, take the headset off, Derek, and I'll show you what's going on the clicker. It is this stuff, right? More motion before the snap, or not even set. What are we doing? Oh, you know what? We're not going to cover this guy, and we're going to let him just run right by. I mean, that's got to be the 5th, 6th, 7th time tonight we have seen wide open for Daniel Richardson. He's like, serve it up. You're serving me layups.
Yeah, he knows where to take it. Look, I know you're not in their communication, but with these being similar type plays, what does that say to you might be going on?
That says to me the back end of that defense is green. That back end of the defense right now, Jim McElwain and crew is taking advantage of, and there's not a voice where there had been in the past. Because you're going to see an onside kick here in a game that has gotten very interesting.
Elzinga, the punter, on the approach, and off the bounce, it is Green to cover it up for Oklahoma State.
That is a good kick. I mean, this is what you're looking for. That bounce right there.
When's the next time you think Oklahoma State's going to schedule Central Michigan?
Never. As they say in Ireland, no, nay, never.
I mean, last week we did learn that.
Yep.
Way to use that knowledge. Spencer Sanders is coming back on the field, and rightfully so. This is a 2-score game. Central Michigan has 2 timeouts remaining. And so this is a run for Richardson, and that goes for maybe a yard. And here comes a timeout with a marker in.
Yeah, we got 12 on the field, and that is a crusher for Central Michigan.
The defense was not awarded a chance to match the offensive substitution. We will reset the ball, 1st and 10.
So no down. Jim McElwain would like time to be added to the clock, but this is.
So the offense substituted. And that,
please reset the clock to 3 minutes, 14 seconds.
Mike doesn't like it because mechanically the referee is supposed to then stand over the ball and allow the defense to substitute. Just some of those first game mechanics, he's going, no. Nope, I'm not even thinking about 2016 right now. I'm not doing it.
It's coming off a kick, too.
Yep.
And movement at the line, and now the question is that going to be against Springfield or is it going to be against Central Michigan?
I think Michael Heldman is in this neutral zone right in front of the right tackle, Springfield.
You think he got into the neutral zone?
Full start. Number 61.
No.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Tremendous job on the quiz.
You're welcome.
Look, Central Michigan won on an untimed down that they shouldn't have had. Okay, now Mike Gundy is questioning the substitution stuff. He said during the lead up to this week that game he felt like he was going to go and lie on the field in protest and frustration. He just wants to put this thing away, thank you very much. And Sanders slides to a stop. Central Michigan has 2 timeouts to burn. It took a couple seconds there, and here it comes. So
timeout, Central
that's
Michigan.
A lot of touchdowns.
Their second of the half.
And they hope it's
30
enough.
Second timeout.
It's the most
Please reset the clock to
passing touchdown and rushing touchdown combined for each in 10 years.
Thank you.
Reset the clock to add 2 seconds.
I mean, you remember the old Big 12, right? Just a few years ago where this was commonplace. But these were the games. These were the shootouts. In the last 4 years, these Cowboys have built something defensively that don't look anything like this. Notre Dame 551 in the Fiesta Bowl. Remember that. Oklahoma, though, in the regular season, 441 in the regular season, the most they've given up. And first half to second half for that man right there, defensive coordinator Rob Aiken, encouraging as they push into the MAC play, encouraging as they'll go to Happy Valley, encouraging that they got better, they pivoted, and really improved in this second half.
2 home games coming up. They'll play South Alabama and Bucknell. They're at Penn State, as you mentioned, on the 24th of September. 1 timeout left for the Chippewas from Mount Pleasant. This was a 51-15 game. Sanders hopping for nothing.
Well, this is a stadium that left. I mean, this is a stadium that looked at Jim McElwain's Chippewas and said, I've seen enough. This is not a competitive environment. There is no way to slow down these Cowboys and Spencer Sanders. And all of a sudden, look at it. All of a sudden, if you're home watching this right now because you left, you're getting a little nervous. Because you can't stop Central Michigan. And Mike Gundy knows it. They're right now, Central Michigan and their offense is largely doing to them what Spencer did to Jim McElwain's crew in the first half.
They're left with a 3rd down and 15. And it's a run to see if they can expire that timeout complement for Central Michigan, and they will. That's the final timeout for the Chippewas.
Timeout.
Who was your college roommate?
Their 3rd and final of the half.
Jeff Johnson.
Do you like him?
Jeff, firefighter down in Arizona, linebacker, absolutely.
Jim McElwain's roommate was Colin Cowherd. What do you think that relationship was like?
Well, he told us. He told us Colin was in the gym hooping. Colin had every impersonation known to mankind.
He said they'd watch games and Colin would do all the voices.
Awesome. Up there at the Red Inferno in Cheney, Washington, the Eastern, where he slung it around, where Derek Mason had some background trying to defend those Eastern Washington Eagles when he was at Northern Arizona, learning the ropes. You said it earlier, all these coaches go back in time and look at their resumes and where they have been. They've usually crossed paths somewhere.
Pistol Pete, by the way, was clean shaven when this game started. Hutton to a fair catch at the 13. So look, we said there was a historically good defense last year for Oklahoma State. Best rush defense in 80 years plus. Tonight, 540.
Yeah, and it's not fluky. None of this feels like, oh, we just put the backups in. Brock Martin was in on the last drive on a 3rd and 2 and got smashed in the ear hole. I mean, Daniel Richardson is 35 of 45 for 420 going up and down this field. I mean, this does not feel like, oh, you know, they just stepped off the gas, put all the backups in. That's not been the story.
A busted coverage. This throw is a dangerous one and knocked away. Taylor was in there. Hey, for those of you tuning in for the Cal Poly Fresno State game, that game's available on FS2 right now and streaming live on the Fox Sports app. We will get you out to Fresno right at the conclusion of our game here in Stillwater.
So what do you do now? You got 4 pass rushers on the field for Oklahoma State. You're trying to impact the quarterback. You have all that speed at the line of scrimmage.
Ford got around the corner, but not in time, and Nichols trying to get out of bounds. He could not.
Good tackle in the open field by Mason Cobb. Will take about 15 seconds off this clock.
Third and 5. Richardson sideline, and Carrier had a crack at that.
Sure did. That was a good job by Corey Black right there, the corner. Right, this is a matchup they've gone after in the big corner here. You'd like to see him. There he goes, gets his head around. And that's the key. We finally see a corner get his head around, continue the body pressure and contact. Set up. Oh, biggest play of the game.
Yeah, toward the game here. Central Michigan's going to have a chance. It's got to be a first down. On 4th and 5, Richardson. No. That should do it, but man, was this a game Chippewa side who came in here trailed by 36 and made it a 2-score game at the finish line.
Yeah, Jim wants a penalty on either of those. He doesn't like it. I don't see it. He is fired up, and he is not going to stop coaching. You tell me. Enough contact here on the inside little slant route. Yeah, he's got his hands all over him.
You could make a strong argument.
You could, and he did, and he was in the ear. As Colin Cowherd used to be in his ear in the dorm room. You could make a case for that. I will say this: I'm a little surprised we didn't see any motion, shifting, right? The stuff that totally confused and took advantage of the communication defensively. We didn't see any of that soft fade route that time, trying to throw an inside slant. I mean, this is quite a bit of contact. You know, Mike Pereira would tell you that pass interference, the toughest judgment call for officials. Yeah, and he is still, Jim is not happy about that, and I get it. I think what happened there, though, he wasn't ready for the ball. Right? He was late. Had he been maybe seeing the ball a little bit earlier, and he ends up in the air and fighting through contact, he could have gotten that call. He doesn't. And the scare ends in Stillwater.
At 58-44. In a series that Oklahoma State fans look and they say, down there in the 3rd quarter in Mount Pleasant in 2015, came back to win behind Mason Rudolph. 2016, the loss here in Stillwater. And now today, if this game had 15 more minutes, who knows?
Well, you know what, all of the articles and all of the radio waves, they'll talk about the positive, and Spencer Sanders, that first half was awesome. Daniel Richardson, and Mike Gundy will tell you right after this game, I promise you, we got a lot of work to do on defense. That kid on the other side slung it all over the yard. We didn't have answers in the second half. Thankfully, they ran out of time because they got us on our heels.
102 points in the 150th win for Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, his alma mater. He is not likely satisfied, but he got the victory. 58-44. We get you out to Eric Collins.